time for, it almost doesn't work, right? You want to actually have that as part of your DNA. Whatever you do, you will be trying to do things in a better way.
Lakshmi, I will add one more perspective I want you to provide. One thing is, we still have a skewed gender ratio in core technology areas.
Right.
How do, as an academic institution, we handle it such that we can fill up the gap when the industry demands it, when we want to have equal gender ratio in headcount in core technology areas? So your perspective on that?
Sure. I'll answer the first one first, right? About working long hours. I think that is true. You know, you are required to fix bugs. You're required to do documentation. You're required to debug customer issues at extremely odd times. You're required to write test scripts, and you have to make sure your code is like completely bug free. All that, it's great. But what I feel is, while you're doing all of this, if there is some nice idea that's brewing in your mind, like he said, passion, and you're passionate about it, all of this won't even matter. You know, you can do all of this, as if it comes naturally to you, but always have that thing, that idea that you're working on in the background, so that you can keep pursuing that and thinking about it. And after all of these things about bugs and documentation and coding and everything, you can go back to that, right? So I think that helps a lot. And nowadays, I think even companies are doing a lot to kind of encourage this kind of innovation and coming up with ideas. There are a lot of patentheons that happen, a lot of hackathons, a lot of ideathons, where you're actually, asked to come and contribute. So while your whole, daily roadmap, so to say, items are going on, there are a lot of these other things that happen, not only in the company, outside as well, right? Where you can participate and then keep your brain cells running, so to speak, right? So I think, like you said, if you have a passionate hobby, or you're lucky enough that your work is your passion, and if you have that, that's great. I think that's enough to drive you, and no work will really look like long hours. About the work-life balance, take it from me, I don't think that it exists at all. There is no such thing as work-life balance. And sometimes you're completely dedicated to work. Sometimes you're completely dedicated to your work. I mean, at home, right? That's the only way it'll work. And maybe it's a gender perspective, but that's what I feel. And coming back to numbers, right? I think lot of companies, lot of institutions are doing a lot of these programs where they want to make sure they get the numbers right and it's not skewed. And I know a lot of things our company also does in terms of hiring, and in terms of making sure our interview panel has the right gender ratio, so that when we interview, there's the panel itself, it has a good number distribution. All this is great, but I think it is too late. I think where it should happen is in our primary school. Where it should happen is much, at the, I don't like to use the word grassroots, but much younger, right? It should happen there. It should happen in 10th grade. It should happen in 12th. It should happen in engineering colleges. Even there, I feel it's a little too late. I mean, the whole thing about a difference in gender should not even creep in. It should come in from home. It should come in from people around us. It should come in from our teachers. It should come in from parents, from siblings, being treated, same. I think till that happens, whatever programs, whatever upliftment things that you do in institutes, in corporate, is just going to fall flat. Because if there is no respect among gender equality, if there is no respect in an engineering college when two people of opposite gender are discussing a problem, if um, if that if say the lady in question is not respected, or her thoughts not taken in, she would never even want to get into that technical field, right? Right there is where there is a break to what she wants to pursue. So I think we have to solve that problem culturally first, and then we might